What up, YouTube? It's me, Isaac, coming to you with another edition of my life. I remember in my last video, I said I don't know why I started using a pick until my aunt gave me this one, which is, as you all saw in my last video, attached to a really cool chain. But since I filmed that video, I finally figured out why I prefer using a pick over my fingers now. Besides the fact that, well, just plucking away at the strings is not exactly the best on the fingers. As you can tell, I've got a couple of micro scratches on my fingers because of that. Well, I don't know if you can tell on camera, but I can sure as heck feel them. But yeah, so the reason why one of the reasons why I could never use a pick up until a little while ago is because of several reasons. One, I didn't want the pick falling through the sound hole and me not being able to get it out. Two, I just never found the right pick because there are certain picks I have in my pick collection that I have that I won't use, kind of like my and that's just because they are really special to me. Although, not saying this one isn't special to me, because this definitely is special to me. But I just never found the right pick for me, because like I said, I didn't want my picks falling through the sound hole. And if you know acoustic guitars, you'll know exactly what I mean by sound hole. I'm kind of surprised that electric guitars don't have sound holes. That's a little odd in my opinion. Although, I guess they do use electricity for their sound, so that kind of makes a bit of sense. So yeah, it's just really odd that besides the fact that I didn't want to lose my pick down the sound hole and the only reason I haven't lost this pick down the sound hole is because I actually have my hand wrapped in this, although that makes plugging with the pick a little bit harder. But that's how I keep a hold of my pick, by putting my hand through the chain. And yeah, so I don't know how I didn't realize all that beforehand, especially before I made that my last video. It all made sense right after I hit pause on the recording. That was kind of funny. And yeah, so what y'all can expect from me, besides more video game reviews and more music videos throughout 2026, are remastered versions of the songs that I've done over the past, I want to say the first song I did was in either 2017 or 2018, either way. So that's what y'all can expect from me this year. Video game reviews, especially when I get around to getting the the Mega Man Star Force Legacy Collection. That I'm looking forward to. Actually, I need to look up. I need to look up and see when that gets released. And like I said, you can expect um, more of my video game reviews. Which now that I'm done with the musician part of this, I better hang this back around my neck so I don't lose it. And so yeah, I've done a couple episodes of my adventures as a duelist, and I've and I did one on Monster Capsule. At least I think it's been one or two on Monster Capsule, but I digress. Here's my review of part of Duel Monsters 4, because there are 3 different versions of that, which I never noticed when until I was cycling through the games to decide which game I'm gonna play next after or alongside Monster Capsule, which I had to restart Monster Capsule because I got to the end of it and then it just got really way too easy because I used the enhancements that the Japanese versions had before. This game, Monster Capsule, never came out in the US. Neither did Duel Monsters 4, as far as I know. So I decided to use some of the enhancements for Monster Capsule, and that made the game way, way, way too easy up until the final boss, which I got my butt handed to me at the final boss, even though every one of my monsters had 999 HP, near perfect attack, which is really weird that I got my butt handed to me with near perfect attack, pretty close to near perfect defense and speed. But the only real enhancement I completely used was to get my capsules up to 999 HP. I did use a couple of the capsules to evolve my monsters when I could use that, and then I used some of the attack ups and some of the defense ups. I just didn't get them all the way up because, like I said, that would have made the game way too easy up until the final boss, which, like I said, I got my butt handed to me in that game. And the crappy thing about that is if you lose one of the monsters, at least I think if I read what the NPC said at the beginning of the game, right? If you lose one of your monsters during a match, you lose that capsule, which I did not want to do, so that's why I got all my monsters up to 999 HP and just worked a little bit on their attack and defense, and I got them to use their longest range attacks or whatever attacks used hit the most spaces away, which now that I got to restart the game, I will probably be doing more reviews of Monster Capsule because, like I said, it never came to America until the Yu-Gi-Oh! Early Days collection. And here's the funny thing about Duel Monsters 4. there are three different versions of it. Yugi, Kaiba, and Joey. And here's the weird part. You would think the Joey version would be the easiest, but that is the furthest from the truth. Oh my. The Joey version, don't even get me started. Even with max deck capacity and max every card in the game unlocked, including Exodia, don't even get me started on that. I use that to be that was actually one of my favorite win conditions for Yugi, because if you've seen the original Yu-Gi-Oh, you will know what I mean by episode 1 and episode 3. If you know, you know. In my opinion, that was really stupid of Yugi to do that with some of the rarest cards in the game. And plus, the dude's name was Weevil. It has evil right in the name. And he was a sneaky little cheater, not just for what he did to Yugi, but what he did to Joey in Battle City was just as slimy, if not although all he did to Joey was slip a parasite in his deck. Yugi, he threw the strongest 5 cards off the boat, which was, I don't know which one I think is more slimy. They're both slimy acts, and they're both completely cheating, which, like I said, his name's got evil in it, so there's that. And Yugi and Joey should have realized they were making some of the biggest mistakes in their dueling careers. Although I will say that duel with Joey versus Weevil was pretty sweet. And yeah. So I'm your host, Isaac Brummett. Please like, subscribe, share with your friends, leave a comment. Peace out, y'all. Have a good one. I know I sure as hell will. Peace out, y'all.